I found this very intriguing study that completely changed how I talk to people if I want something from them.
The base case.
Alright, there are two groups of people. The members of the first group are asked to put up a small sign reading "Be a safe driver" in their front yard. Almost all of them agree. The members of the second group aren't asked anything. It follows the request to put up a much larger sign reading "Drive carefully," this time in both groups. The members of which group you think are more likely to agree? It is striking. While about 80% of the people in the first group agree, only 20% of the people in the second group do. Hi, I'm the pocket psychologist, and these 5 minutes will make people comply with whatever you say. Fasten your seatbelts.
The method.
This is a perfect example of one of the most useful techniques in handling people, used by major corporations, political institutions, and in the future, by you. It's called the foot in the door technique. It says that if somebody agrees with a small request, they are much more likely to agree with the following larger request. Agreeing to put up a small sign makes people much more likely to agree with putting up a larger sign. Now don't miss out on these two crazy tips that even increase the effect. First, delay the second request. Directly following up with a larger request leads to a feeling of ingratitude and trickery. We obviously didn't want that. Second, use phrases like "but you are free." People shouldn't feel like they are getting convinced, they should be convinced. Take off that external pressure. Doesn't bring you further anyway. More on that in a moment. Now here's what you've been waiting for.
How to use it in everyday life.
The spicy part. A few examples. Get more time. May I hand in the paper a few hours later? Well, yeah, okay. Followed by may I hand in the paper after the weekend? Get somebody's help. Could you also vacuum the corridor, please? Followed by whilst you're already on it, could you also do my room? Get more freedom. Mom, can I go over to Peter this evening? Well, sure you can. Can I also stay the night? There are literally no limits to your creativity. Anyway, I'm starting to wonder,
Why the hell does it work?
a lot of research underlines that the foot in the door technique is a successful compliance method. And why? This is not solved. At least not completely. The most accepted reasoning for why humans tend to follow this pattern is the self-perception theory. I admit I had to look that up, but it's actually genius because this explains everything. When a person has originally agreed to something, they will ask a question to themselves about why they agreed. When they come to the decision that it was their desire, they will feel the need to stay consistent with their decision and will have to agree to a larger request. In other words, we create our opinions and morals based on our behavior, and not, as conventional wisdom states, our behavior based on our opinions.
I don't get it.
Aren't we stupid?
The powerful antagonist.
Foot in the door technique won't work? Don't panic. Its counterpart is probably for you. Don't use a smaller request to get them around. Instead, start with a bigger request than the actual one. The door in the face method again claims they will be more likely to comply with the actual one. It works especially well with younger siblings or adult people who behave like them.
The dark side.
A Spider-Man once said,
With great power comes great responsibility.
but don't be afraid. You most likely won't be able to control people to do whatever you wish. But applied correctly, you do have the capability to let people feel that they should do what you suggest. In short, use the technique responsibly. Never ever try to make people do something they don't want to do. But I mean, that should be clear anyway. The technique is applied by door-to-door salespeople who gave it its metaphorical name. Some, very sneakily, put a foot in the door to keep you from shutting it. You first only comply with listening, but suddenly you're much more likely to buy a washing machine that can make ice cream or buy an insurance for your pet alpaca where you don't even have a pet. Internal processes such as desire are what drive people's behavior, and not external pressure such as punishment. If you like methods and hacks on how to master dealing with people, follow for more.